Fox 5 has a look at the evidence used to convince a grand jury to indict a Henderson man on a murder charge. Police believe that he was the mastermind behind the crime and now believe that they can prove it.
The murder of Tupac has been the music industry's biggest mystery for a long time now. But after 3 decades, the police have proven itself by bringing Tupac's murderer behind bars. Keefe D was arrested for the murder of Tupac on September 29, 2023.
27 years. 27 years. For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Duane Keith Davis, aka Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
However, as new evidence is presented in court, it looks like the police might have to make one more arrest. According to court transcripts obtained from a Clark County grand jury, everyone is pointing fingers toward Diddy as the brains behind the operation. Just what did the transcript say? And is Diddy looking at jail time? Welcome back to Star Spills, where we will be talking about how Diddy's involvement in Tupac's murder was confirmed as the grand jury transcript was leaked. But before we give you the deets, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos.
But Zipper came pick me up. We rolling up Greenleaf in our neighborhood, and his phone ring, boom, and it was Puff. And he like, you think it's cool to come out here and do a concert?
According to court documents, Devontae Lee, a former gangster working for the South Side Crips, is passing all the blame to DeAndre Smith, another member of the gang, for pulling the trigger on Tupac. But wait, these men were not the brains of the operation. No, according to Devontae, that was all Diddy. These men were acting on orders from the founder of Bad Boy Records himself. According to recent information, Anderson and Smith were in the white Cadillac along with Terrence Brown and Keefe D. Davis. Now, for a long time, the running story was that Anderson was the one who fired the shots that night. However, Lee paints a completely different picture in his statement to the grand jury in the indictment of Keefe D. According to him, Smith was the one behind the trigger. During his statement, Lee was asked if it was true that Smith told him that David passed a gun to Anderson. Now Lee corroborated the statement. However, he explained that when the Cadillac approached the car, Orlando did not have a clear shot of Tupac, so Smith stepped up, taking the gun from him. According to Lee, Smith said, "He's on my side. Basically, I'll do it." Lee also confirmed the reason for the fight. So far, the police believe that the Southside Compton Crips retaliated for what happened at the MGM Hotel earlier that night. Tupac and his men had gotten into an altercation with Orlando and the gang that night. You can see Tupac and members of his security team punching and kicking a defenseless Anderson in the lobby in a video of the incident.
The spark that night, they say, was a beating doled out by Shakur on Davis's nephew, with Shakur seen kicking him on security video at the MGM Grand Hotel.
At the time, Tupac did not know that his actions would cost him so severely. Keefe D's recount of the events that transpired that night has only confirmed Lee's statements. In a tell-all memoir, Keefe D wrote, "We couldn't let no record company studio gangsters do us like that. Had they lost their effing rapper minds? Suge and his boys committed the ultimate disrespect when they kicked and beat down my nephew Baby Lane in a video seen around the world." The transcript further explained how members of the Mob Piru Street gang were working with Bloods as security for Death Row Records. What's more, these guys didn't get along with the South Side Crips. Investigators have now found that it was Davis who made the plans to take out Tupac that night. Davis is currently enjoying the inside of a jail cell and is scheduled to be arraigned in a Clark County courtroom on Wednesday. He is being charged with Tupac's open murder. Interestingly, Keefe D is the only suspect in the case who is alive today. In fact, according to his memoir, he's one of the 2 witnesses alive who were there that night.
My name's Jason Johansson, and I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And my goal here today is to walk you through our investigation and what led us to the indictment of Duane Davis, also known as Keefe D.
But before we give you more deets, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos. And while you're at it, make sure to share the video with a Tupac fan as well. Now back to business. For years, police have collected evidence and conducted interviews that corroborate their theory for what went down that night on the Las Vegas Strip. Investigator Johansson spent 3 decades of his life working the case, which goes to show the dedication of the authorities towards catching Tupac's killer.
While I know there's been many people who did not believe that the murder of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department, I'm here to tell you that was simply not the case. It was not the case back then, and it is not the case today.
The police managed to build their case thanks to Keefe himself.
Mr. Davis's own words reinvigorated our case in 2018.
The 60-year-old has been going around telling the world about the skeletons in his closet for a while now. However, before that he managed to escape the authorities for 3 decades. Back then, he was a leader of the South Side Crips. And in 2019, he penned down his experiences in a groundbreaking memoir titled Compton Street Legend. In the memoir, Davis called himself the shot caller. To make it worse, he was running a multi-million drug empire. But Davis wasn't always the king of the streets. He started out in Watts, California. He found his way in Compton when his family decided to move there. Davis' family luck changed when his father and uncle won the equivalent of $1 million while betting on horses. The money turned around Keefe's life as his family bought a new house and 2 cars. Keefe talks all about this in his memoir. He also talks about how he first met Death Row Records owner Marion Suge Knight when he was only 9 years old. He started running with the South Side Crips in 1971, only because that's what all the boys in his neighborhood were doing. Meanwhile, Suge was pure blood. Safe to say, you wouldn't have caught these on the same side. And that's where Diddy saw an opportunity present itself. According to the Office of Justice Programs, United States Department of Justice, these gangs were founded in California for the first time in 1969 and now stand at 40,000 to 50,000 members. Now these 2 gangs have been at each other's throats for decades, and Tupac happened to be tight with both of them. He made music with both Blood and Crips members, which put him right in the middle of all the fighting. And if there's one name that comes up about who took advantage of that, it's Diddy's. Even Mopreme, Tupac's brother, believes Diddy had something to do with the murder.
Well, I had first saw, like everybody else, the raid on Keefe D's house in Vegas, and that was a surprise to me, just like everybody else.
He said, "I don't have to do anything." This individual, Keefe D, mentioned Diddy's name. Law enforcement has a job to do. Will they do it? It does feel like Tupac is being vindicated because back in them days when things were going down, everybody thought he was crazy. He also said, he may have not expressed it properly, but that don't mean he was wrong. So we will see. He also said, I'm fortunate enough to have my freedom. I consume media. I've seen interviews. These interviews they speak of that they used to land this indictment on this dude. I've seen him, and he's saying things I got questions about. Keefe D mentions certain people that may be accomplices, so at this point in the game, somebody's accountable. Are they gonna make everybody he's talking about accountable? Looks like everyone's got their eyes on Diddy and the police right now. Maybe new evidence will come to light that will settle this matter once and for all. And that's all for today. What do you think of the situation? Do you think Diddy's time has come? Is he going to face the consequences? Should the court be taking the word of gangsters? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. We'll see you next time with more updates.